Welcome to the PassioKnit Spinner Podcast. This is a bonus episode where I show all my spinning wheels. I got a request to do this and I'm happy to do that. So I'm going to stand up and get out of the way so you can see all of them right now. And then I will sit back there with my wheels and explain a little bit about each and every wheel that I have. So let me get out of the way. Yes, that's great, right? You always wanted to see that. So these are my wheels. I have, as you can see, 6 spinning wheels and a mini spinner. And yeah, I'm gonna go through all of them. Just a warning, Gizmo is here in the room with me. Now I'm gonna sit down. Okay, Gizmo is in the room with me, right here. And I hope that he will not get in the way all that much. We'll see. So, let's get started. I'm gonna just go around me explaining everything, and yeah, I'm gonna start off with this spinning wheel. This here is a Woolmakers Bliss. Woolmakers is a Dutch spinning wheel manufacturer, and they actually belong, or they are the Louet spinning wheel company. And the Woolmakers line, I think it's a line from them, is very affordable. They made this to have easy, affordable wheels for beginners and everybody, actually. Oh, my husband and my son just walked by the window because they are going for a walk because we have the most amazing weather today. So I have time to do this. Okay, now the Bliss is my only single treadle wheel. They, when I ordered it, it was right in the beginning where it came out, and they didn't have the double treadle yet, and I really wanted to give the single treadle a try, and I really like spinning with this wheel. I spun a sweater quantity right in the beginning of my podcast, and I really like it. The wheel itself, now that bugs me, I just have to roll that up. The wheel itself comes with no extras, and there are no extras to get for it. So you have basically your big wheel, and you have the flyer up here that has 3 ratios that you can choose, and that's it. That's all you can do. And they don't have any extra flyers or whirls or stuff to get, so this is it. The only thing you can have is, you can have more holes in here to extend your onboard Lazy Kate, which is pretty easy because they just have holes drilled in this arm, and you have a stick and you can put it through your bobbin and put your bobbin on the wheel. So this wheel is, in my opinion, perfect for beginners, and it's super easy to use because for the flyer, you just pull it off and you can stick it back on, and that's it. It snaps in and you can start spinning. It's a bobbin tension wheel, like all of my wheels are. I don't have any other wheels. I don't have a double drive or anything like that. So, and I don't know if that's Scotch or Irish tension. I have no idea. That's just, I don't know. So, the Woolmakers Bliss, it's a very affordable wheel. It comes, like I said, in a single or a double treadle. You can, this leg here is switchable. So if you don't want your Lazy Kate to be on the right side of your wheel because you always have your yarn from the left, you can, when you assemble it, you can just switch that around and put it on the other way. So you can do that the way you want. Yeah, like I said, very affordable, and I really like spinning on this wheel when I just do normal yarn. When I go for a sport to bulky, I can use this wheel. I would not use it for art yarn just because, like I said, you cannot change anything and the orifice is just not very big. So if you just want to spin normal yarn, I'm sure you can do fingering and lace weight on this wheel if you want to. I don't, because I don't want to spin that at all. So yeah, Woolmakers Bliss, it's a great wheel. I really am happy that I got it. So now I'm going to push that back and get the next one. This here is my Louette S45. It's out of manufacturing, I think that's how we call it. They discontinued doing it, which is a pity because this is a great wheel. It's, as you can see, it's a travel wheel and it's that big. That's it. That's the whole wheel. It's always attached. You know it's not foldable because what would you fold here, really? There's just nothing to fold. And there are several ratios, as you can see. Maybe, I hope you can see it because I'm not able to put it further up. So this big wheel has 3 places where you can put your cord, and the small wheel does have 3 of those as well. So you can switch stuff up. You have different ratios to go with, and it also has an onboard lazy K, which is, you know, behind the wheel, and you just can put 2 bobbins on here. And I always have 2 bobbins on there when I use it for outside my house, you know, when I go to my parents or to a friend, because I like to have 3 bobbins with me because I never know how much I will spin. So that's great. Now, this is a double treadle, as you can see. There's no way for this to be a single treadle, I think. And again, the flyer comes right off. So you have this screw here. This is the orifice. You have a screw here, and you just screw the screw off. And then you take this all off. That's the flyer, that's your drive band. And you can pull out the bobbin. Yeah, I like this wheel a lot. I am very happy that I was able to get one because you can only get them used. They are not manufactured anymore. There have been, I think, 1 million petitions that people sent over to the people at Louette for having them make this wheel again. And if they ever do make it again, try to get one because I really love this. It's a great wheel. It's nice to work with. I also use this for just normal yarn, you know, nothing fancy. The last sweater quantity that I spun up, you don't know which one I'm talking about. My last finished sweater quantity came off of this wheel. I had it with me for a spinning retreat, and I love this wheel. And there are so many people who ask me all the time if I'm going to sell it, and I'm not. This is my wheel. I love it. I got it from a friend, and I'm very happy that I did because I just love using it. I spin everything from a fingering weight to a bulky on this wheel. The first yarn that I made was a 3-ply super bulky because when you first get a wheel, you know, you don't expect to have a 3-ply lace weight in the end. So I did that, and right now I'm spinning a chain ply sock yarn. So you can do really everything with this wheel. And it's really fast too. The Bliss is slower, I would say. I'm a very slow treadler anyways, so, but this here is a real fast wheel. Also, like with the Bliss, there are no extras you can get for it. There's just nothing to attach. So yeah, again, bobbin led, bobbin tension thing, whatever it's called. So, the Louette S45. Now, for my big wheel, that's the Mya Craft Rose. It's my most pretty wheel, and I have to admit that I got it, especially because of the looks of it. I just think that this is the most gorgeous, most pretty spinning wheel on the planet. I love it. I was fortunate enough to give the Rose a try before I got one at the spinning retreat that I'm going to go to tomorrow, and I'm looking really forward to that. So I was able to try it out, and I am in love with this. This is a very heavy to treadle wheel, I think, but when it's started, it just works great. I have a ton of extras for this wheel. You can get basically every extra you can imagine for this. I do have, as you can see here on the door, I have a hanger that holds all my extra bobbins and all the extras for the spinning wheels. So I have I have a bulky flyer for this wheel with bulky bobbins, and I used it for art yarn and also for plying, because on a bulky bobbin of this spinning wheel I can ply about 300 grams of yarn, which is great, especially when you're doing sweater quantities, because you can get away with only plying 2 skeins of yarn. So I have, like I just said, the bulky flyer, and I also have several different whirls, because for this wheel you can get, I think, a super high speed, a high speed, a normal, and the big whirl or something like that. There are 4 or 5 different whirls, and I have all of them, so I can spin basically everything with this wheel. And right now I am spinning a chain ply sock yarn on this, and I enjoy every second of it. It's a great wheel. It's also, if you're a beginner spinner, this wheel is quite an investment. It's an expensive wheel, but it's worth every penny that you pay for it. Also, it did take me quite a while to get used to it, and I have been spinning for years when I got this wheel, so it's a great wheel for everything. If you get a Mya Craft Rose, you don't need any other wheel, I think. But yeah, like I said, it took me a while to get used to it, and what I find is that all the yarns I spin with this wheel are very dense. They're not floofy at all, it's just very dense yarn, which sometimes is great. So yeah, the Mya Craft Rose, a beautiful wheel. It's pretty. I got it because it's pretty, and I like spinning with it, so that's of course more important, but you know, sometimes you have to have stuff because it's pretty. Now, I think I have to switch places. No, that one I will do from here. This here is probably a spinning wheel you've never seen before, especially if you are outside of Germany. This new spinning wheel is called Michi von Schwarzenstein. It's a German handmade spinning wheel. The guy who made or who makes this wheel, he's only been around for I think 3 years now. When I ordered my wheel, I got it in May, I know that, and I got it 2 years ago. So this May I have this wheel for 2 years, and I did pre-order it, and I had to wait for 9 months, and I think now you have to wait for 1.5 years to get your wheel. It's a great wheel. It's very different from other wheels. It's also a travel wheel. You can, you know, this part here can hook up here. I've never put it apart. I don't. I have this the way it is right now, fully attached, everything, and ready to go here in my room. So I'm gonna put it on like this so you can see the side. As you can see here and back here and at the wheels itself, there are a ton of different ratios, and this is the only wheel that I have that is not a bobbin tensioned wheel. You cannot change the tension on the bobbin. The bobbin is again screwed on, and it's also screwed on the Rose, and I totally forgot to tell you that. So you can take off the orifice here. So this wheel is made from wood and stainless steel, and you just pull it off. The bobbins hold about 150 grams, which is a lot, and yeah, you put them on, you put your orifice back on. It's just a little thingy here, and then you're ready to go. The way the orifice is made was a bit hard for me in the beginning because it's this hook where you hook in your yarn when you're spinning, and that's just a bit weird. Back here, I'm not sure if you can see that, this green cord, that is how you tension your intake for the spinning wheel, or for the bobbin intake. I had to play around with this quite a lot until I found the way it works best for me, and since then I haven't changed anything. So this is the way it stays forever. I think I'm not going to do art yarn with this or anything fancy. It's my go-to wheel for just your normal yarn. The last thing I made on here was a 3-ply Sport to DK weight, and it's an amazing wheel. I'm very happy that I got it. Yeah, it has this hold handle here, so you can, you know, pull it around easily. It's very light. It's not a heavy wheel, and it just looks amazing. I think it looks great. It spins great, which is, you know, when it comes to spinning wheels, it's important, of course, that it spins great, because that's what it is there for. But also, I like it if it looks nice. So, the Michi von Schwarzenstein, a German wheel. It's an amazing wheel. I'm very happy that I got it, and yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about it. It's an amazing wheel, and it's a travel wheel, super light, and it also is the highest from, you know, the height of it. That was an amazing sentence, right? So, let me switch over here so I can get to the rest of them. So, next up I have my Hansen mini spinner. I don't think that I have to explain a lot about this. I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, I got this last year, and I've wanted a Hansen mini spinner forever. My husband and I, we had this running gag or running joke. You know, we always joked about how if we had to pay stuff for the house, or, you know, big car repair stuff, I would say to him, you know what? For that money, we could have gotten a Hansen mini spinner. And he started doing that as well. And someday he just said, you know what? You're going to order this thing now. And I had to, of course, I had to find something else to joke about. So the new joke is the folding Golding spinning wheel that I will never get, I think, but because, you know, I do have enough spinning wheels, actually. So the Hansen mini spinner is an e-spinner, if you've never heard of it. It is, I think, the Rolls Royce under the e-spinners. It's very smooth. It spins super smooth. It's very quiet. You don't hear a whole lot of it. And it's the only wheel where I have a woolly winder for, because I use that for plying, I think. Because I like hooking my yarn. You know, when you are spinning your yarn on your normal flyer, you have to hook your yarn to a different place so it can get distributed evenly, and the woolly winder does that for you. And I don't like that, because when I have to stop to hook it up on a different hook, I see progress, and that is what I really like about it. So Hansen mini spinner, I got the cherry because I like that color a lot, and yeah, I love it. It's nice. It lives in this cart over here. It sits on the top of it. This is the IKEA cart that basically every crafter owns. And I noticed that when it is in there, it's about here. The cart goes about here. So the orifice is completely free, and I can have it sit in there. I put the foot switch next to me on the table because I always have it so that it is just switch it on and you don't have to have it pressed down. You know, just switch on and switch off later. So I have the switch next to me on the table, and I could just push it with my fingers, and that's it. So this is my Hansen mini spinner. I am spinning the sweater quantity from my bonus episode where I showed how to take that apart. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I love it. It's an amazing wheel. Is it a wheel? I don't know. I don't think so. It's a great e-spinner. Yeah, I really like it. And I'm glad that I did finally get it. It did take a while to get used to because it's so very different. The spinning itself is the same, you know, your hands do the same motion. But normally I have to coordinate my hands with my feet, and that is way easier for me than to coordinate my hands with a machine. So that took a while for me to get to it. So I have to say that if you want to get a Hansen mini spinner, it does take a while to get used to. At least for me it did. So there are no different ratios because you don't need them. You can change stuff here. So it's faster or not so fast. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's the Hansen mini spinner. Everyone knows what it is. I love it. I'm glad I have it. And I want to get back to spinning on it because I want to finish that sweater quantity. So, next up is my Ashford Joy. This is the oldest wheel that I have. I got this as a I got this as a wedding gift from my parents when my husband and I got married in 2008, which is 8 years ago. And now I feel really old. So I got this for my wedding because I really wanted it. I wanted this wheel so badly. Back then I had a Ashford Kiwi, and that was it. I only had the Kiwi, and I really wanted the Joy. So I bugged everyone long enough to finally find someone to give it to me. And my parents did that, and they gave it to me for the wedding. And it will always remind me of that. So the Ashford Joy is a travel wheel. It's the only wheel, really, that I use for travel when I go to retreats. I tend to not take the S45 just because I'm afraid to break something, and I have no one to fix it. So I'm not taking that one. So I take the Ashford Joy. It's, like I just said, the only wheel that I really use for travel, and it is very easy to take apart. You pull off this one here, and you just, you know, was habe ich jetzt gemacht? Hold it up. You can, there's a hook on my side here. Take down the flyer, and that's it. You put it in your bag. So that's what I'm going to do, because this is the wheel that I'm going to take to the retreat with me this weekend. And I'm going to spin on the fiber that's on here. Oh no, it's froze. Unfreeze for me. Unfreeze. That's so bad. Okay. Now, I have no idea. You heard everything I said. I'm not sure what she saw, but this is the fiber I'm spinning. It's a natural undyed BFL. And this is going to be the 4th year at this retreat where I'm spinning this fiber. And I have high hopes of finally finishing it, because I tend to not take out the Joy when I'm at home. It's in its bag, and I don't take it out, and I should. Because if I did, I would have finished this sweater quantity a while ago. It's a whole kilogram, so, you know, it's a lot of spinning. But I will finish spinning it this weekend, I hope. So, the Joy has several ratios, as you can see here. This wheel has 4 slots for your drive band, and up here are 4 as well, and you can change stuff up. I have it set on the slowest ratio, I think. I never understand how ratios work, I have to admit. It's the biggest whirl up here, so I think that's the slowest. If not, please tell me, because I don't know. So, the Ashford Joy has an onboard lazy Kate. There are 2 of these little hookies down here where you can put your finished bobbins for plying, and I really don't like that, because I have my feet in between here, of course, and I have to have 1 strand of yarn around my legs on each side, I don't like that. So I always use a different lazy Kate for applying when I apply on the Joy. So yeah, the Joy is a great wheel. The flyer again is screwed off, so that's been the case for all of these so far. Again, it's a double treadle, and the treadles really show a lot of use here because I use this a lot. And yeah, so the Ashford Joy has long been my go-to wheel when I had the Joy and the Kiwi, because the Ashford Kiwi really was a beginner wheel, and I got that used from eBay in 2007. It was royal blue, which was not very pretty, but that's what it was. And I had the Joy, and I did have a Merlin Tree hitchhiker, and they all used the same bobbins, so that was amazing. And then I sold the Kiwi, and then I sold the hitchhiker, and I got all of the other things. And now I don't have a single wheel that is, you know, usable with parts from the other wheels, because they are all different manufacturers. Oh well. So the last wheel is my Sidekick. It is my absolute favorite wheel. I got this from my husband in the year it came out. He gifted this wheel to me for Christmas. I do have the cup holder that's from FBN Plastics on Etsy. They do these cup holders for a bunch of different wheels, and I have one for my Joy, and I'm going to use it this weekend. So I have that one here, and I just put stuff in that I use all the time. Oil, a pen, my orifice hook, and some natural undyed sock yarn for binding the finished skeins. So the Sidekick is again another double treadle, because there's no way this could be a single treadle. The wheel is between your knees, which when you are a fast treadler, you will get very cold legs. Let me tell you, because this thing makes a lot of wind when you treadle. And that was a bit weird in the beginning. But I got used to it really fast, and I'm in love with this wheel. Everything here is attached or works with these pulleys things. I have no idea what they're called in English. They are Schnellspanner in German. I use them all the time. Of course, on the Sidekick. And now I screwed it on too hard. Still too hard. So, you open that one in the front, and you can flip that up. You can then take out your flyer, and you can change the whirl. I have 2 whirls to go on the wheel, and I still have a different, a high-speed whirl that I don't have on the wheel. It's in my thing back there. So yeah, I am in love with this wheel. I use it, like I said, all the time, and I do not have the bulky flyer for it, because as you can see how this is attached, you have to have this whole piece here. You have to have a whole different front maiden for your spinning wheel for the Sidekick to get a bulky flyer, and that was just too big of an investment. When I decided to get a bulky flyer for one of my wheels, the only thing I did was I checked which one was the cheapest, because I did invest quite a lot of money in my wheels, and I didn't want to invest another 300 euros to get a bulky flyer for the Sidekick when I can get the bulky flyer for the Mya Craft Rose for 120 euros. That's a big difference. And I decided to do that. So no bulky flyer for this wheel, but I do have different whirls. It came with 2 whirls, the one that's attached and the one that's here. And I got one bigger and one smaller whirl. And you get 2 ratios with each whirl. So you can change stuff up there. If you have other Schacht spinning wheels, like the Ladybug or the Matchless, these are interchangeable parts. So you can use the bobbins for all 3 wheels and you can use the whorls for all 3 wheels if you are looking for an easy way to have different wheels without having to have all the different parts. So yeah, the Sidekick is a travel wheel. You can screw stuff up, you know, fold it together. I don't want to do that. I never done it, and I'm probably never going to do it because I have my Joy, and I will never get rid of that because it was a wedding gift, so I don't need to use the Sidekick for travel. Oh, now, that's it about my spinning wheels. I hope this was somewhat entertaining for you. I'm gonna have to come closer because I have to push the stop button, and as my mouse doesn't work right now, I have to do that by hand. So yeah, I will come close to you. The only thing I want to talk about now, before I come closer, I like to spin sweater quantities, and I like to spin everything up front. I talked about this before. So I do have at least 8 bobbins for all of these wheels. Between 8 and 12. I think the Sidekick I have 12 bobbins for. And that is what I do. So I would always recommend, if you get a new wheel and you decide to have that in your life and you plan on doing sweater quantities, I would always suggest you get your wheel and you get enough bobbins to go with it. Your wheels always come with 3 bobbins. That's just how it is. Because you need 3 bobbins for a 2-ply yarn. No, spin 1 bobbin, spin the other bobbin, ply together on the 3rd. But if you plan on doing sweater quantities, I really, really suggest you get at least 8 bobbins with your wheel, so you are on the safe side. So, I think that's it. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is not a look what I have and you don't video. It's just for talking about different wheels, what you can use them for, and maybe I can help you deciding on a wheel that you want to get for yourself. And if I didn't help you in any way, I hope you still enjoyed it. And yeah, now it's time to get up. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I'm going to talk to you again very soon because it's Friday and I'm going to record my normal podcast on Monday. So yeah, no, it's Thursday today, but I don't care. So have a wonderful week. Bye.